Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Forbidden Door preview show here on the Mike the Ref Twitch channel, soon to be simulcast on Backbreaker Video. Wrong camera, got the crew in already. I want the first heading here. I got the crappy camera, I get first heading here. Mike the Ref here once again, enjoying my favorite new AEW Street Fighter shirt. We're here at Beercade YEG 10544 82nd Avenue, getting ready for a hell of a pay-per-view here, and as you've seen, I've said it many times on the Dynamite Sidecast, I'm not that good at New Japan. I haven't watched enough.
He's really not.
Yeah. So anyway, I had to get some experts. So it looks like I got a couple experts with me here. We got Andre C. and Mel Ball here. How are you guys doing here today?
I'm doing fantastic, but I am exhausted from a weekend of wrestling, and I'm ready to kick it off with Forbidden Door.
I've hit up 2 shows Thursday and Friday, had a nice day to relax yesterday, and I am ready for Forbidden Door today.
Well, I know personally I'll be talking about these shows that we've had this weekend here up on Thursday, but we'll talk about that wrapping up the stream here. But let's get into this card because we got 12 matches, and we're running a little behind here from what we planned on.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, let's get into these buy-in matches. I don't think there's going to be much to discuss about them.
They're all going to be great.
This one should be the quickest of all of them. QT Marshall and Aaron Solo taking on Hiroshi Goto and Yoshihashi.
Boo.
Mel, you've is it just me or is this one going to go really quick?
This one is definitely going to go really quick, especially with Yoshihashi kind of involved in the match. Goto is always one of those people, though, who's going to take it to that next level, and he's going to really make that match, I think, work very, very well. Looking forward to the Yoshihashi Scream. You can't have New Japan without a Yoshihashi Scream.
I definitely think you can, but that's my opinion.
It's certainly preferable at some times. But this is definitely going to be a quicker one, especially with QT Marshall and Solo there kind of involved in that.
I think I'm with you. I think this is going to be very much a showcase match for Goto and Yoshihashi. But as much as I think Yoshihashi, at least he's gotten. I've actually kind of been able to enjoy him with his run with Hiroshi Goto. I think these two, their tag team title run, they're a great tag team, and go up against these two, it's just going to be, I think, getting a little bit of stuff from Solo and QT, but it's going to be mostly Goto and Hashi.
It also depends on which Yoshihashi shows up today. Are we going to get the regular Yoshihashi, or are we going to get like the G1 Yoshihashi who steps up?
Yoshihashi, please.
And actually, please come.
In that case, it should be a walk. But before we move on here, just want to give a shout out to Astrid Pizarro in the chat here. Says she's here for Mel.
Astrid!
Hi, Astrid.
Great to see you here, Astrid. Always great to see a smiling face in the chat. Even though I can't see chat, but anyway.
She's always smiling, that girl.
We can see it, and thank you for showing up.
Speaking of smiling and popping and all that, Max Caster and the Gun Club taking on the New Japan Dojo group of the DKC, Kevin Knight, Alex Coughlin, and Yuya Uemura. Thank you. Like I said, forgive me, folks. I'm going to be butchering stuff left, right, and center all over the place here tonight.
He will be.
Yeah. Anyway, Andre, this one's got to be a quick one for the Gun Club, and
I think this is going to be like. I'm thinking the finish is Max Caster gets the final pin in this, because out of anybody on the Ass Boys and Max Caster, Max Caster is the most over person, I think, in this match in total. So I think he needs to get a convincing finish and a convincing win here, and I think he will.
I actually, to kind of toot the Young Lions horns there, Shibata has been doing an incredible job in the LA Dojo with all of those guys. I mean, the DKC, when I first saw him and he was, not a Lion, he was all right. But typically in the Lion situation, they really won't pick up any wins until they're not Young Lions anymore. So this is definitely going to be probably going to the Ass Boys.
Plus, if you want to get a little WWE on it, DKC does not have the momentum.
Oh, God.
Does have a fun catchphrase, though.
Yeah, true.
True enough. All right. And the last match, which I think you have particular interest in the buy-in.
I do.
Mainly because of the little character on your shoulder there. We got El Desperado and Yoshinobu
Kanemaru.
Thank you. taking on Swerve in Our Glory.
It's an easy name.
I'm sorry. This match here, if you think about it, the role that Lee and Strickland have been on has been rocky at best because it almost seems like they're fighting with each other, coming up with different issues and whatnot between the two teams.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this one could go either way.
I personally see it. As much as I love Desperado and Kanemaru, I think they're one of the best junior tag teams in New Japan. I think this is going to be a night for Keith Lee and Shane Swerve Strickland. Too many S's. But because they need the win, I think they truly do need the win in this because they've lost a couple too many times. They had the little Shane tossing out Keith Lee. If they want to continue this program of them still being a tag team, they need this win.
Yeah, and it also depends, though, if Kanemaru brought his Centauri whiskey, if that's going to be...
He might have Tennessee whiskey tonight.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
What I did find very odd about this match was the size difference. Keith Lee versus Desperado and Kanemaru. I don't think the two of them combined match the weight of Keith Lee, so I did kind of find that a little odd.
That's what you think. Like, with Keith Lee, he's a junior in a heavyweight's body. 100%.
It's true.
But the thing is, he's going to be throwing those two around.
Absolutely.
I think, because he's got the power just to toss those boys. And they're like, it's not like they're small, but they're juniors.
Mm-hmm.
Desperado is a bigger junior. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's going to be quite the match. But I still see it going for Swerve in Our Glory.
Yeah.
But let's also not take away from Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru there. They're both very, very talented heel wrestlers, members of Suzuki-gun. They're known for their underhanded tactics, and Desperado himself is also a deathmatch specialist. So he broke his jaw there, which is why Doki was invited on to Suzuki-gun to replace him in the Super Juniors there. So, we can't take away from those guys either. This is one of those that could go either way.
I think this is the biggest pick among the buy-in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, just getting quickly into the chat here, DBS Pod is commenting about my pronunciation of certain wrestlers here, as I am doing my best Jim Ross impersonation right now. Fair enough, I'll tip my hat to you, sir. And the Omen fan, Mel Ball loves Yana, which we all know. Nope, he's up here if you want to yell at. Well, let's.
I thought you were pointing behind us. I'm like, Eric's already in.
Camera here.
Okay, you screwed
all
me
right,
up.
let's get on to the main card here, and. Speaking of Crowder, first of all, shout out to DBS Pod on chat here, who's in the middle of a...
Shout out to Jules, whose show I was in earlier today.
Yes, and DBS Pod's got 4 games in the show YEG League going on today, but let's talk about the next match here, because he was pumped about this. The fact that Los Ingobernables de Japón is making
Los Ingobernables.
But that graphic is no longer valid.
All right, throw it in there.
That match now no longer features Hiromu, who has a fever and could not fly over here, which is so disappointing.
Frustrating.
So is it now a 6-person?
Correct.
Yes, Hikuleo is going to be in the corner of the Bullet Club, but it's going to be the other 3 members of the Bullet Club versus Sting,
which
Darby
is
Allin,
the
and
best
Ringo.
choice to make in that situation because of that team. Hikuleo is certainly the weakest link.
And we've had the opportunity to see El Phantasmo here in Alberta.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
With Real Canadian Wrestling. And
Correct.
Just see him in a great 4-man match.
Absolutely. Like El Phantasmo is going to be a standout. Now he's working for every single company now.
He really is.
Because he throws up for AEW. He's worked for Impact. He's worked for... Well, he hasn't worked for WWE, but nobody really wants to right now. But I digress. Yes, I think pretty much Sting never loses. I think that's where we can sum this up at.
I mean, you got to remember the Dragon is involved in that. We may have lost Hiromu, but we do have the Dragon still. That's a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, and he held that title through quite possibly the roughest time that New Japan had through the COVID pandemic. And now he's a KOPW champion. I mean, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. That guy might be tiny, but he is mighty.
But you got to also consider who's on the other side of the ring from him. You do have the Young Bucks, the current, just becoming the current AEW Tag Team Champions, along with El Phantasmo, who is on a roll. He's finally entering his first ever G1 this summer. So, like, there's a high possibility you could see the Bucks getting a win here, especially with the feud that they currently have, them and Red Dragon, their feud with Sting and Darby Allin. I think you could easily see them picking one. I personally would love to see the dudes with attitude win this match 100%.
Although in the future, I would definitely prefer to see Darby Allin versus Hiromu Takahashi on a one-on-one match to really showcase both companies.
Oh, very much so.
I got a feeling this isn't going to be the only Forbidden Door that we see here. And Astrid giving you kudos once again for your New Japan knowledge. But speaking of knowledge, I need you guys.
I don't have knowledge.
Wow.
He's got the title.
Yeah, I got the title.
Speaking of bringing out your knowledge, we got to go into prediction mode right now because Zack Sabre Jr. versus an opponent of Bryan Danielson's choosing. Now, I know on Wednesday out during our AEW sidecast available on the Mike the Ref Twitch stream every Wednesday during Dynamite, we did discuss who it possibly could be. And Gargano's already shown pictures of him on the plane getting out of town, out of Chicago, whether you want to believe that or not. But Gargano has never lied about this stuff.
Never.
But who's it going to be? I'll just put it straight out there.
I'll let you go first, Mel.
And who's going to win?
I'm still hoping for Claudio. I really am. I think that would be a phenomenal match.
Oh, the technical ability he has, I think, would be perfect. And then he has the ability to go into that blood and guts. Because remember, whoever's in this match is in blood and guts. That's
true.
But what I really want, I think we need a hero, a Chris hero. That's all. That is the one I want more than anything. Because technically, that man is absolutely phenomenal. There's a history there with Bryan Danielson from their days on the Indies, and he could work very well into blood and guts. But I think it's going to be his Kings of Wrestling tag team partner, Claudio Castagnoli. I think it's the pick I'm going to officially make. But Chris Hero's that one I'm just hoping for.
Well, we all know we need more Chris Hero in our lives.
We all need more heroes.
That's an obvious thing here. My personal pick, I'm going to go a little bit different route than you guys. And this might not get the pop outside of Chicago that you would expect. The two picks I have, Oni Lorcan, or Biff Busick, or Timothy Thatcher.
Ooh,
either one of those two
I
for
think
me.
Thatch could get a good pop, actually.
Yeah. So I think with talk specifically about technical wrestling, if you're talking about a brawler or entertainer or something, sure, we can go with Claudio or Gargano or one of those.
But you can argue with Claudio's technical ability, though. I think he is just as good as Danielson, if not maybe a little better.
I just think in this case, you bring it into a situation of somebody who could be very well suited to blood and guts. Think about, Biff Busick has experience in blood and guts. So does Timothy Thatcher. And Timothy Thatcher will rip somebody apart in a cage. Straight up.
Both technically and in a brawl.
Now the other question here. I would assume because whoever it is, they want to set up a future Danielson versus Sabre Jr., who's the best technical wrestler. So I have to assume that we're all picking Sabre Jr. to win this one.
I am.
Yeah.
And again, I could not find my shirt today, but Zack Sabre Jr., you just need to tap out. Maybe Zack Sabre Jr. is going to win this. I am all in on Zack Sabre Jr. Legitimately, like one of my top 5 wrestlers of all time.
All right, and getting into the chat here, DBS Bob with the dark horse pick. Regal laces him up one more time.
Oh,
that would be insane.
But he has made many a comment that he is retired.
The only way I would accept that is if he's doing the "It's a Man" intro. He's a man. That's the only way.
We're going to start. Let's not start singing. Astrid is in here. Maybe Cody learned how to lie from, or maybe Gargano learned how to lie from Cody. And officially a member of the BCC. Yeah, I get it.
And Murphy did the same thing, didn't he, Buddy Matthews? Sorry.
Yeah,
but they have said the person who's taking over is going to be a new member of the BCC. William Regal's already a member.
Fair enough.
That's true.
All right, let's get on to our next matchup here. And I really hate when AEW puts stipulations into their matches that make things obvious. So let's move into this one here. The 6-man tag where you have Minoru Suzuki teaming up with Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara.
The Sex Gods.
I don't know how Suzuki fits in that one, but anyway.
No one does.
That man fucks. Come on.
Taking on Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino.
Shota.
Was that not John Moxley's?
His little protege.
That was his second in New Japan when he was over there at the G1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up, this has got to be the Jericho Appreciation Society winning this. Because the winner of this gets the advantage in Blood and Guts.
Unless they're pulling a WCW level move and giving the faces the advantage, which is they WCW at its best, or worse, depending on how you feel about WCW. I see it being the JAS. It has to be.
For people that remember last year, the faces got the man advantage in Blood and Guts last year, and it didn't have the same feeling that it did when the heels did. I don't think Tony's going to go with that twice here.
No.
Mel, your thoughts on the match?
This is the one match on the card I was like, why though? You have two other members of Suzuki Gun on the show already. Like, why are they not teaming with their leader in taking on Eddie Kingston and Shota and Wheeler? It would have been just as great of a match. I personally think that Suzuki is the weird one out in that one, but like, to be clear, he is going to be the one person who is probably going to kick the most ass in this match. And, everyone, when this comes on, you have to Kaze Ninare at the right time. Because if you don't, Boogeyman Suzuki, he's going to come to you in your sleep, and you don't want that.
Yeah, but what happens when they cut off the music early?
He kills everyone.
I will murder somebody if they do.
Though, how awesome is it to see Shota back again, the shooter.
And he's with Uemura, Wheeler Yuta, and with Kingston. I think this is going to be, I can't wait, because I just...
And how much does he look like a miniature Hiroshi Tanahashi?
Watch Capital Collision, man. He looked exactly like him.
All right, let's get on to our next matchup, and we got a fatal four-way for a brand new championship here. The All-Atlantic Championship.
You updated this. You got the right graphic on this one. Thank God.
I just went through Twitter yesterday. Sorry. Malachi Black, Pac, Miro, and Clark Connors. Now, I know Clark Connors is a last-minute replacement.
But
due to injury for
very
Ishii.
good replacement.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much so.
Now, is it just me, or is this one just a no-brainer that Miro's taking that championship?
I agree. Just with him coming back, from such a long kind of absence of the four of them, it makes sense. Connors, he is new. He is the replacement for Ishii. What a replacement for Ishii.
For sure. Like, Hanma, come on.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal Super Junior run this year. He's tremendous in-shape talent, tremendous in-ring talent. I love Malachi. I love Pac. But, man, Miro is just, I think, my pick for this one. He's been gone too long, and I think they're going to reward him for coming back.
God damn it, Chowder.
Yeah, okay, so Crowder, I have screenshotted this right now.
Chowder.
Okay,
Chowder.
If Clark Connors wins, he will gift me 20 gift subs.
No, now I want Clark Connors to win. But I could see Malachi Black taking this. Just a dark horse out of here. Like, I really do, because he's got moment. He's
literally
and
figuratively, right?
Yeah.
With the horns.
But I think he could be a really good champion in this. And I personally am picking Malachi Black, but he will not pin Miro to win the title. That is very sure.
Oh, Connor's in there to eat the pin, I'm pretty sure, no matter what's going on here.
Very much so.
But it very well could be that Malachi could get the championship. I think it's the slam dunk that Miro should get, but I think Miro could also get it for the mere fact that sometimes the chase is better than...
Yeah, Miro's the obvious pick, but I think Malachi is a very good pick for like a certain match quality, I think, in my opinion. Not that Miro can't give it, but Malachi's on that other level.
Andre, you're into the world of segues. You're just rolling right into them here. Speaking of match quality here, we have the IWGP US Championship on the line.
Yes.
Will Ospreay, Orange Cassidy. Like, I really don't know what to expect of this. There's some borderline insanity here, I feel.
If this isn't Pac, if Orange Cassidy is not at his matchy level he had with Pac, I am going to be so flippin' disappointed. Like I said about Zack Sabre Jr., he's in my top 5. Will Ospreay is my number 2 wrestler of all time right now. Mike knows who my number 1 is. But Will Ospreay, I think, is one of the best wrestlers in the world. His stock has never been higher than what he's currently doing right now. The only thing is he doesn't actually have the U.S. title with him because Juice won't give it up.
I mean, Juice, he's rock hard, right? You gotta chisel through him, I guess. Let's not talk about Gallows doing that nasty stuff.
He's got the tag title back, so.
I do agree with Andre. I do feel that Will Ospreay is definitely the pick of this one. His stock has never been higher since joining and forming the United Empire. Like, he's been on an absolute roll, and I personally think that from the clips that I saw of them kind of getting into it beforehand, that was just a very tiny taste of the incredible match that these two are going to put on. And myself, I'm not an Orange Cassidy fan. I don't like the pockets. I'm not that the character is funny. I get why everyone likes him, but for myself, it's like, get your hands out your pocket and do something.
When he's going in the ring, when he's at full speed, properly working a match, I think Orange Cassidy is one of the great workers in the company. It's just when he's doing his stupid, lazy shtick, which I think needs to go away because I hate the gimmick to begin with. I think if he hits it up and he goes into the match, he'll do his goofy shit for the first minute or two. But as long as he turns it up like he did with Pac, I think it will be a pretty phenomenal match.
Yeah, and Astrid's right on par with you, Andre. So.
Yay! She shouted me out.
Let's move on to our next match, and this is going to be an absolute banger here. Winner take all, IWGP and Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. We got FTR, we got Jeff Cobb and Great Khan of the United Empire, and we got Roppongi Vice. Now, there's so many working parts to this matchup. Could the ROH Tag Team Champions FTR get all the gold? Or maybe there's some politics that might get involved here because FTR are the AAA mega champs right now, mega tag team champions right now. So is there a chance that the United Empire could win those championships? Because I'd love to see more Jeff Cobb in AEW. Or maybe Roppongi Vice, who's sort of dark horse in this match, and a lot of people don't feel that they really should be there.
I personally agree with you. I would personally love to see the United Empire kind of take it all just because of the credibility that they have earned themselves over the last couple of years since forming. I mean, the Great Khan going on excursion for a year, going undefeated in that excursion, coming back and decimating Okada, going into a main event title match against Hiroshi Tanahashi. Like, this guy he's earned his keep in this, and his ability to just adapt to whoever he is fighting with his background. I think that's going to be something that maybe FTR didn't take into account. But on the other flip side, you have FTR, who, like you mentioned, are on a huge roll right now and making waves. They're going out there. They're performing multiple companies.
Yep.
There's no reason why they couldn't take it all either. The only team who really couldn't are Roppongi 3K, and I just think it's because they are
Roppongi Vice. 3K
Roppongi Vice. Roppongi 3K broke up. They have had their kind of time in the light in New Japan, and I love Rocky and I love Trent, but I definitely feel like Rocky is the smallest man out in that one, and that would probably end up being his downfall in this, with 4 other superior wrestlers coming at him.
I think as long as politics don't play into it, I'm giving it to the FTR. If they do play into it, it's going to Cobb and Great Khan, who I love Cobb. I think he's one of the best guys going to New Japan today.
Yeah, and I know Astrid agrees with you in the chat there, FTR all the way. Well, let's move on to the only AEW versus AEW match on the card, and that's just because of New Japan Pro Wrestling not dipping into their Shine talent.
No, Stardom.
Stardom, yes.
Stardom.
Because how cool would it be to see Thunder Rosa versus someone like Kairi Sane? You have Azumi, Julia, Suri.
We could talk, and I'm sure with the possibility of a new podcast coming out in the future, stay tuned, folks. We could hear a lot more about women's wrestling, but let's talk about what we have tonight. Toni Storm, Thunder Rosa. Now,
awesome.
Personally, I think this is going to be a banger of a match. If storyline-wise and just popularity-wise, I would love to see Toni Storm get this. But it's so soon into Thunder Rosa's reign.
Yeah, she's only been going a little while. I can't see Thunder losing this. I really can't. But
Yeah.
Tony is so good. And to a fact, Tony is an ex-Stardom girl.
She is. She is. So technically, there is that connection there.
There's a Stardom connection.
She was Queen's Quest, right?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Queen's Quest. Yeah.
I do know a little bit about Stardom, not a lot. Not a lot. I will not be. Either way, I expect this to be a great match, and I think this might surprise a lot of people out there compared to what we might see with some of the other matches here. So, you want Taya to confront Rosa, Astrid? You know what? That would be. If it wasn't
Did it in Mexico, she might as well do it here on
Absolutely.
AEW.
Absolutely. Well, let's move on. We got 2 more matches to go. And first, let's go with the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, the Fatal 4-Way.
IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, definitely World because it's being defended in America this time.
This that I'm holding is a replica of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. The World Championship is what they have now.
Correct.
Fair enough.
Correct.
So we got Jay White, Hangman Page, Kazuchika Okada, and Adam Cole. Now, this match has been hastily built. And
Very WWE kind of build, in my opinion.
yeah, very much so. So, guys, who's coming out with the championship? Guys and girls, sorry. Who's coming out with the championship? Andre?
Jay White.
Jay White.
It's too soon. Unless Gato did a hot shot booking, just to have Okada win in America again. It's not the main. But the thing is, it's not the main event, so I don't see it happening.
I agree. Jay White's taking this. It's not to take away from Hangman Page, who's been working his butt off for the last year, and then Kazuchika Okada, who had an incredible run, and then he wrestled the G1 with a slip disc last year, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
But Okada, there's also reports other that after the G1 he's taking time off for the birth of his child. So
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if it won't surprise me when Jay White retains this title.
Yeah. Honestly, the odds-on favorite is Jay White. But just think of it. What if Hangman Page took off for a while right now? Since he doesn't have any real competition, any level of competition to deal with in AEW right now. And
Kind of awesome.
Send him out to Japan for a few months.
That would be interesting.
He can come back for Full Gear or whatnot, or All In.
Be one of the first time that the champ isn't in the G1.
That would be very odd.
Yeah.
Well, there's some odd things going on in this world. And speaking of which, great segue. We get to our last match here. A dream match for the interim AEW World Championship. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jon Moxley. I'm hearing it's a slam dunk for Moxley. I don't think so as much here. I think Tanahashi hangs on to this championship if Punk might be back for All In Chicago.
I don't see Punk being back probably till ready for a title match to Full Gear. But
either way,
I could see Tanahashi winning this. Me and a coworker dreamt up a little scenario when they first was all coming together that we wanted to see Tanahashi win the title, announce he's staying in America, and Bryan Danielson taking his place in G1. But that's falling apart now that Danielson's hurt. But I still want Tanahashi to win this.
The New Japan fan in me really wants to see the Ace win this, but I just feel like I don't want to say the age is going to be a problem, but like Moxley is a lot younger, he's a lot fresher. It's not to take away from the Ace, he can still go, but I want to see the Ace win, but I definitely feel like the edge is definitely on Moxley's side. But I think this match is going to be absolutely incredible, and it's going to be one that pushes the Ace to his limits.
Well, the main reason I think that Moxley will end up taking this title tonight is the fact that if you're going to keep the title on Punk, why are you doing an interim title for a chance and give it to a guy who will be heading back to Japan for 5 weeks to do a tournament? It'd be almost pointless to have it. There's no point in an interim championship at that point. Where that's why I see, unless they come to agreement to end up pulling Tanahashi out of the tournament and inserting an AEW person, I do not see a way that Jon Moxley doesn't win this championship.
I'm just going to throw a fun fact out for you guys here, just to wrap this up here. Based on Tanahashi's schedule going into the G1, he is only booked for one Wednesday during the G1.
Yeah,
they are able to get him. If they wanted to spend the money, they could fly him out for for a couple Dynamites.
He's got some Tuesdays and some Thursdays, which just would. He's got a Thursday, which wouldn't work for an AEW.
Well, we were right. The LA Dojo beat the Nightmare Factory right up there.
So. No. That's
Yoshihashi and Goto.
See, I told you, I'm screwing things up left, right, and center here, folks.
We did not get a Yoshihashi scream. I'm just going to point that out. We did not get a Yoshihashi scream.
We saw it cut in halfway through the match.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up here, everyone. If you take a look on the screen there, we do have $4 highballs at Beercade YEG here tonight.
Drinky.
Guys, your last thoughts before we wrap this up completely?
I'm excited.
I'm very excited also. I'm very much looking forward to this match, or this show. I'm just waiting for that fatal four-way. Waiting for it. There's the title.
I'm so looking forward to Zach and Ospreay, baby. I can't wait for those two. Yeah.
All right.
Let's do this.